right, so I really only have two things to talk about. The first one is very extensive. So if all of you know anything about Destiny, they have a developer stream that they do prior to the actual content dropping. So we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 Heresy Act 2, the developer stream, which releases on the 11th of March, so this coming Tuesday. So the first thing that they really talk about in this developer stream is the Court of Blades, which looks really just great. They have these augmentation bubbles rather than the regular boons that we have right now for the Nether when you're doing those activities. So this kind of reminds me of like Nether kind of meets Onslaught because it gets more difficult every 2 rounds, is what they're saying. But there is a expert mode if you want those adept weapon drops. And now we're going to talk about those actual weapon drops themselves because, dude, the weapons look absolutely amazing. And I can't wait for one of them, or actually a couple of them. Let me be honest, all of them. But so the first thing I want to talk about, the first weapon is called Refusal of the Call. It is a glaive, and it is our first ever Strand Glaive. It's the second one that goes into the kinetic spot. It's the second ever kinetic glaive, but it is a Strand Glaive on top of that, which is the first ever one that we've ever seen. It's got like these really cool bone legs on its blade.
It looks pretty
Um,
wicked.
it looks badass. All of these weapons look just goddamn amazing. The next weapon is called Nemesis or Anamnesis. So anemone. But it is the void light bow frame like weapon, and it looks absolutely amazing. People are saying that it's going to be taking over Le Monarch, which is your exotic void bow that you have right now, in your second slot. So I'm absolutely excited to use this because I love Le Monarch, and this bow looks absolutely amazing. The more kills that you get with it, the origin trait makes it reload faster. Uh, Absolutely amazing. So cool. The next weapon is called Division, and it's got Vault Shot, baby! It is our first ever heavy burst sidearm. And what a heavy burst is it's going to shoot 2 rockets at once, or 2 of its ammo, rather, at once. And its arc and the fact that it has Volt Shot is absolutely amazing because we all know we love Volt Shot on our weapons. After that, you have Afterlight, which is the Void Fusion Rifle. And the really cool thing about this is if you look at it, like those lines that come off of it, those get brighter with every kill that you get.
That looks pretty sick, I ain't gonna lie. Just the visual looks so cool.
So those are your 4 new weapons. There is another weapon that they are adding to, which is the submachine gun that you got from the exotic quest. It's called Borrow Dyad.
Okay.
And it's a submachine gun. It's really fun to use. It's really wonky looking.
Yeah, that does
But
not look like a gun to me.
it's absolutely amazing to use. I've used it a lot, just like running around and shooting things because it's a lot of fun. But they're gonna have 2 new perks that are gonna come with it. So you're gonna be able to get those perks by doing the probably quests that come with it. The same thing with the other weapons that we've had when you're getting more origin, or not origin traits, but other trait perks that
Gotcha.
go into the first and second slots. But they also did talk about Act 3 coming in April. And before we get into really what Act 3 is going to look like, though, they did also talk about Guardian Games. That drops on the same day that the Act 2 drops. So if you look at it, all of the armor sets are right there, and they're very gladiator themed, whereas other ones have been like just
That looks
kind
pretty
of
cool.
other themes. This is very gladiator themed, which is super awesome, super neat. And you're gonna get the armor through like the Eververse, just getting bright dust, so you just have to complete more things to get more things, pretty much. And it really just makes the play level of playing Destiny that much more. Is like you want to play Court of Blades so you can get these extra weapons. Also, when you keep playing, you get more Bright Dust, and if you get more Bright Dust, then you can get this armor set that you're getting for the Guardian games. There are three weapons that are gonna be coming back. There's a rocket launcher, a scout arm, scout rifle, scout rifle, and I think an auto rifle. The Hababaloo is what the rocket launcher is called. The Terra Corpse is what the Strand scout rifle is, and then the title is, I think, that what the auto rifle is. But the biggest thing that really is coming out of Act 3 is that they have a new event, and this event looks so amazing. It's called Rite of the Nine, so RITE, Rite of the Nine. If you guys remember, it's kind of like very prophecy-esque. So what they're going to be doing with this Rite of the Nine is that they're going to be not bringing back, but really highlighting three of the dungeons, which you have Prophecy, Aspire of the Watcher, and Ghosts of the Deep. And when you're in there, it's a very limited event, and it's going to be one highlighted dungeon per week, and it's going to kind of like roll. So like the first one's going to be, let's say, Spire of the Watcher. The second one is going to be Prophecy, then Ghosts of the Deep, and then it's going to continue to roll until they have the event completed. I don't really know how long this event's going to last for, but it's kind of like when they were doing the raids. I forgot what they were calling that, but when they had like the raid type contest mode, it's kind of like that, but with dungeons. So dungeons now have like first dungeon races when they have a new dungeon release, but these dungeons were like older dungeons, so they didn't really get to have those type of contest modes. So they're bringing them back so people can play them on different types of modes that are going to be out there. So there are going to be 3 different type of modes. There's going to be an explorer mode, which is for new players who want to experience the dungeon and also kind of just learn it. So there's going to be prompts that come up, and you're going to be able to learn how to do the mechanics of the dungeon overall before you go into the next mode, which is going to be Eternity mode. They didn't really give a whole heck of a lot of information on what that all is, but they did for Ultimatum mode, which is the 3rd mode. Ultimatum mode is where players who have the experience of like really learning the raid, getting to know it, go back into it, and now everything is harder. They're really there for the end game content to get those weapons. These also, when you beat the dungeon, it gives you adept weapons as well. So it's gonna be harder to play, but it's gonna it's for those people out there that just really want to learn it. Explorer mode is also really cool because if you've never soloed the dungeon, like me, I've never soloed a dungeon before. I'm not afraid to say it. But there are people out there that have, like AD. AD has soloed like 3 dungeons at this point.
Oh,
but
wow.
if you want to get to know how to solo it, you can go into Explorer mode by yourself and just try to learn how to do it by yourself at a lesser of a threat. Which is really cool. And then they have the last thing that they talked about, like right before he was like, and that's all. Oh, just kidding. There's one more thing that we want to talk about in this like developer, the developer stream, and that is heavy metal. So it's a PvP Act 3 mode that they're going to have coming out, and god damn it, it looks amazing. You get into like little fucking speeders, or you get into the big like Hydra like fucking tanker looking things, and you're like fighting in those, and you have your own tactics that come out of that, which I think is really neat and cool. And I'm always here for like fucking people up with like cars and stuff.
This makes me
with
want to get
weapons.
into Destiny, just looking at all these pictures of these updated things.
Yeah, so Destiny has been having kind of like a hit and miss type thing, but with how Destiny is heading, it kind of looks like Destiny is back. And I'm excited for it. I've been playing Destiny for like 8 years of my life. So I am here for it.
Yeah,
I
because
can't
just a
wait to
couple of
play it.
months ago, you kind of like were talking about some, people really being worried about it.
Yeah, we were kind of worried after final shape dropped, because then we started going into acts and we weren't really sure how that was going to go. And then they
Mhm.
were doing this free game content, and we're like, why are we still paying for it? Like, what are we getting out of it? So there's access to certain things like dungeons that you have to pay to in order to play. So it's kind of like they're trying things out, and they're adding new modes that still keep us engaged, like the Court of Blades, where we can kind of test our skills still and get back in there and just kind of play with people. You don't have to play with people, like, but you can.
Mhm.
Because Court of Blades is like a match made looking activity. Same thing with the Nether when you're going into those. Same thing with Onslaught. But you also have your like solo type activities that you can do, like dungeons by yourself if you so choose, or
Okay.
PvP where you fight different people. But that's it for Destiny news and all of the news that came out with that developer stream, which was a lot. That's just the narrated,
That's great
the
though.
shortened version. Yeah. If you guys like want more information, Destiny 2 definitely has their own actual developer stream that's like 53 minutes.
Okay.
That is on their YouTube.
Wow.
That is where I watched it, and it was absolutely worth it, because you get to see the more in-depth thinkings of like why they did certain things. And the developer that made all of those guns, she also talked about how, like, okay, well, this is the perk that you're going to want for these guns, or these are the couple of perks that you'll want for these guns. But if you're more into PvP, these are the types of perks that you can have onto these guns to make it more along your playing style, which I thought was really neat, because usually I just have to like fuck around with some weapons until I find out. But the last thing that is in the gaming segment is GTA 6. It's something that I've been talking about for a really long time, just because they keep on having little news about it, and they keep saying it's coming out in 2025, and then we haven't really still heard anything. So they just came back out and said, yeah, we're still coming out in fall of 2025. So
So they
we'll
actually
see.
they give a okay. I know.
Yeah, it's a more narrowed. It's not
Right.
definite, because it's not a date. It's just
Narrowed in
fall
at
of
least on its
2025.
season.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people have been
Um,
wondering and waiting for this for a minute.
yeah, we've been waiting for another trailer, because the first trailer dropped like fucking 3 years ago at this point.
Oof.
Probably only 2 years ago, let me be honest, but
Yeah.
it's still a long time. So we're just sitting here waiting. I'm kind of over GTA. That's just me.
Hmm.
Grand Theft Auto. That's not my thing anymore. I'm more into the Destiny and Monster Hunter Wilds, which has been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to play it as soon as I get done with this.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things about Monster Hunter Wild.
I I've been a fan of Monster Hunter for 10 years now. I've played Monster
Okay.
Hunter 4, Rise, Iceborne. Dude, like I'm all about Monster Hunter. First thing I played it on was the Nintendo 3DS. So, absolutely love it.